Hello everyone. So it is Raku take two. And I hope that this one turns out a little better. So the first time I did Raku, I asked everyone if they had any tips to please leave them in the comments. Again, I'm gonna do that in this video too, but I got so many great tips that when I made this stuff, I kept all those things in mind. Plus, I also realized that with the very first firing that I did, there was 3 key things that I definitely can improve on. So the first being glaze. I did not make my glaze thick enough. 2, I did not let it heat up enough in the kiln. Yes, I let it get to temperature, but I didn't let it sit at that temperature. And I think that's kind of one of the more important parts that I missed, was that I didn't let it sit there, so it really didn't adhere properly. And then third, I didn't let the flames work. I was so caught up in the put it in the flames and snuff it out. I wasn't thinking that it's the flames sucking the oxygen that's making all the magic. So yes, so I thank every single one of you that commented on that video and gave me all of these tips, because I definitely will be implementing all of those things with these pieces. But yeah, so I got 2 new glazes, and the one I'm most excited for is Mayco's White Crackle. And I also got Spectrum's Neptune. Now, the crackle intrigued me because it is very, it's just a vibe. It's just a vibe that I wanted. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just a vibe that I wanted for these pieces, because I had these pieces in mind. So I wanted to do something with the type of like aesthetic look that I think the White Crackle is going to give me. I hope. And then Neptune, when I looked at the test tile when I was purchasing online, it was blue. And that was like, click, add to cart, we're done. So I'm hoping that I can get some blues with these pieces, because I think that would look really awesome. But yeah, so let's get started. You're not gonna watch me glaze all of these things on here, but I am gonna show you a few things. I am going to also mix the Mayco glazes. I do have oil slick, but yeah, so I'll show you some of the pieces that I made. First, I made these little ghosts, and if those aren't the cutest thing you've ever seen with White Crackle, I think they're gonna be awesome. I also made just a regular few little vases. I'm going to market these as pen and pencil holders when I take them to my market, because I haven't figured out how to seal them yet. If you have any tips on sealing Raku, by all means, please leave them in the comments as well. And then of course, I made some mushrooms and some little mushroom ornaments. And the favorite thing, the most exciting thing that I made, and I'm most looking forward to doing, is some Raku jack-o'-lanterns. I think these are awesome. I just uploaded a video on how I make ceramic pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns, so I can link those both in the description below. But go and check them out if you've never made a pumpkin before, because these are my favorite. I love making pumpkins. They're my fave. I actually made 6. I made 6 pumpkins. So I have just some regular pumpkins as well. And then again, just some regular vases. So I'm going to kind of split them a few things. I'm going to do some in Neptune. I'm going to do some plain White Crackle. And then I'm going to do some with the mix of White Crackle and the oil slick. So let's get started. So on the bottle, it says apply 3 coats to 04 bisque, which this is 04 bisque. Yeah, so let's do that. Typically use fan brushes. I use, these brushes. They are 100% a budget brush, and I can link them into the description below, but when they break, I don't feel bad. And I really haven't had any problems with them, like losing their bristles or anything, so I definitely can link them in the description. So what I'm gonna do with these little ghosts is I'm gonna do White Crackle on just the ghost, and I'm going to leave the hat with nothing, because I loved the effect on the mushrooms that I got for the very first firing that I did. I love the effect of having nothing on the stem, and it made it black with smoke. I love that idea because a witch's hat is black. So I'm gonna leave it like that, but I think they're gonna be really cute. So let's just... So this is future me that you're hearing. When I was editing this, I found that between the kids and the dogs and everything that was going on, it was just a whole lot. So I'm going to cut out most of the glazing. I won't lie. But I will tell you what I did was I put 3 fairly thick coats of the Mayco Crackle, and I also did 3 coats of Neptune. Usually Spectrum glazes, you like 2 coats, but I found with Raku, they definitely like 3. So I did 3 thick coats with everything with Crackle and 3 coats with Spectrum Neptune as well. Now for the mixed glazes, I did the Neptune first, and then I did the white Crackle with about 1/4 of an inch overlap. So not a lot, but a little bit. And then for the mushrooms, I did do white Crackle all on the top and Neptune on the bottom. And I also ended up not using oil slick at all. And you will see those results at the very end on how they turned out. But I think it was a really good decision from future me telling you. And lastly, for the pumpkins, I just kind of mixed and matched them. Some of them I did full Crackle, some were full Neptune, and then some were mixed and matched. So we'll see those at the very end, but let's get to firing because that's the best part. So let's go do that. Okay, so I will be totally honest. It's been like 3 days since I glazed all those pieces. Life happened. Anyway, so I did a couple already. I did the 2 Neptune ghosts, and I do have a few cooking in there right now, but look at that. Look at that guy. Look at those colors. Is he not the cutest thing you've ever seen? I think he's so cute. So I had 2 that were Neptune. So this one came out as a little bit more coppery, but still totally cute. And look how cute the little black hat is. I'm so glad that I left these black. I did do one of the mushrooms as well. It has very little Crackle on top, but these ones and the Neptune even on the bottom, it didn't do a whole bunch, but it does look really cute. Like the vision that I had for it totally worked. But that mushroom in particular, I did at the temp for what the Spectrum glaze suggested. So it was like 960. I think I did 965. Just because what I learned, I didn't get it quite hot enough. So that one I did just a few more degrees higher, and I did a little bit of a hold when it was at that temp. So yeah, and so the batch that I have in there now is all the mushrooms. The mushrooms with the white tops. So I am doing it to 1,000 degrees, and I'm going to do a little hold because there is Neptune on them as well. So I don't want to go too hot, but I don't want to go too cool either and then have the same problem where nothing cracks, because it's the Crackle that I want, right? We will try that. Also, update on the fire. This one got a lot of fire. And look at it. So totally was a fire problem that I was having. So far, so good. And yeah, I think this next one, when I pull it out, I'll show you how I do, like what I'm doing now with because I also updated, I have wood shavings, not wood pellets anymore, which is, I think, making a difference as well. And then I'm ripping my paper. I'm not just throwing like a crumpled chunk, I'm ripping it up so it's really getting some good flames. I'll just set the camera up because we only have, I think, 300 degrees left to go, so it won't be too much longer. And yeah, I'll show you how we set it on fire. So yeah, so this is kind of close up. Hopefully you can see what's in here. So I just have some wood shavings, some paper, and I'm gonna just leave this stuff in here. It's gonna kind of mix it up. But yeah, so I have that in there, so you can see that. Okay, so I also just ripped up some flyers into little strips instead of, like I said, just a big crumple. So let's hope that works also. But we are at temp, so I'm gonna pull it out, or pull all of them out. And I'm gonna try to, oops, well, I was gonna try to stand them up, but apparently not. Stand them up as best I can, I guess. So there's 3 in here. Oh shoot. Okay, well. So yeah, so now I'm just putting more paper on top. And I'm gonna really let it burn and get all that good stuff happening. And then we're gonna shut it. And you can kind of almost hear it like suck. I know there's some smoke, but when it's done, it totally seals it shut. So I will bring you back when we open it. Okay, so it's been like 10, just a little under 10 minutes, I guess. Let's take this out. Oh, oh, that one was pretty underneath. You can see that. Yeah. Again, not a whole lot of crackles, but maybe when oh, you can see some forming. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I can hear them. Oh, I like that. That's great. So I'm just going to throw this in the water and maybe that will, but yeah, look at that. Oh, sorry, you can't really see it, but look at that. I don't mind a little bit of smoke on the top. I think it gives it some look, but you can definitely see there's more crackles in this than there was on the other stuff. I am going to throw on some India ink. I have some of that, so I'm going to do that so I can see if I can define the cracks a little bit more. Ooh. That is pretty. But you can tell it's a little bit, probably a little bit over fired, just because I did go quite a bit over the temp. But it's still really pretty and it totally works. But I just wish I could get this off. Well, I still think that's really pretty. Okay, so I did not mention this earlier, but with doing Raku, you do have to take all of safety precautions that you possibly can. It's a fire hazard, so you need to either have a water hose or a fire extinguisher nearby. It is like molten lava coming out of the little kiln. So you need to have gloves, you need to have tongs, and you probably should be wearing a mask because smoke is bad. So keep all of those things in mind because it is dangerous, but it is a very fun project, but you do need to be cautious and you do need to take care of yourself. So just be safe if you are planning on trying Raku, okay? So otherwise, I'm gonna keep on firing. This will probably be a few day process, just like the last couple times I did a Raku video because I do have quite a few pieces. But yeah, I'm really excited to keep on going. I think so far the white crackle is totally holding up to my expectations. Not as many crackles as I thought I was gonna get, but if I look really close, there are lots of different crackles. So I think if when I put India ink on, which I will show you how I'm gonna do that at the end of this video. So wait till the end of the video if you wanna see how I do that. But so far, Spectrum, again, I just love Spectrum glazes. They're just great. But yeah, so far they're awesome. So I will meet you back here when I do a few more and I will go over all the pieces that I did today and show you how I put India ink on, and I will let you know what I think of both of these glazes. Okay, so the ghosts are in here and I am so excited to see what they look like. The crackle ghosts, that is. Oh my gosh. Okay. So these are super hard to tell if they're going to work out. Let's get them into the water. Look how cute they are. So stinking cute. Okay, so what I've noticed with the crackle is that when you put it in the water, it just starts like kind of getting rid of the soot. Whoops, sorry about that. And then I just have to give it like, you do have to, oh, look at the crackle. It's so bright out here, guys, so I apologize if you can't see it really good, but oh my gosh. These make me so happy. Look at all that crackle. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so it's super hard to get it off underneath the hat, but I'm not even mad about it. That looks unreal. Look at all those crackles. Ah, that makes me so happy. I think that looks great. I am going to leave, I think, the smoke in the eyes because I think it looks really cool. Okay, so this is, I'm really excited to see what's in here. Let's take the mushroom out first. There's some weird speckles on here. Okay, let's put this in the water and see what we got. What this did, or if this did anything. Oh my gosh. I don't know if it crackled, but let's hope that we get some color on the top because it does look pretty cool where it connects. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. It's super bright out here. Let's get this in the water and see what we got. Oh, and we did get some crackles at this lower temperature, so that is a good thing. Actually, these ones got, because I did this one at a little lower temperature because it had so much on the combo piece. But I did, look at, there's quite a few crackles on here. It looks great. Oh, and the bottom looks great. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at all those colors in there. That looks amazing. This one, oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that. Unreal. Not as many crackles in this one. There is more where there was more flames, obviously, but look at the combo. That looks great. So with the crackle, I did mention that I have India ink, and I do. I have Speedball's India ink. It's old, so let's hope it still works. But I want to really define these cracks, or I want to see if I can define these cracks. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to start with, a piece that I don't really care if it gets ruined. Now I am wearing gloves because I don't want this all over my hands. So I just have a paintbrush and I'm just going to rub it in. So really get it up in there. And then I just have a bucket of water with a sponge. And oh, look at that. Okay. Now it will stick in all the little dimples. So also be prepared for that. But look how many more crackles we got by just doing it like that. That looks great. Okay, so let's do another one. The only thing that I'm not is that it did get into all these little dimples. So I'll just try one more. Now this one had quite a few cracks to begin with, but I want to really accentuate them. So I am just pushing it in. Oh, look at that. Look how many of those crackles showed up after. That looks awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to do a few more off camera because you got the gist of how I'm doing that. I think I don't know if I'm going to do a ghost or not because I really like the way they look and I don't want to get these little bumps in there. I might do a pumpkin though. Yeah. I will bring you back and show you everything that I did with the Raku and I'll show you all the finished pieces. So Raku take 2 is done. This time turned out phenomenal. I want to say like 85% of my pieces turned out amazing. The other 15, I think I've actually figured out why they didn't work. So the next time I do Raku, I am fully expecting perfect results because my personality won't let me not figure things out. So I feel like I have figured out what these glazes need to look just like their test tile when you add them to your cart to buy them. I think I have figured it out. The white crackle, wow, unreal. These results are so good. So let's just get right into it. On the back of the bottle, it says 110. So we're going to start with the Mayco crackle. On the back of the bottle, it says go to 110,010 degrees Celsius with a 5-minute hold. Now, I didn't do that. So I ended up combining, I didn't use any of the Mayco's oil slick. I just used Mayco's white crackle and Spectrum's Neptune. Now, Spectrum Neptune, it says to only go to 960 degrees Celsius. So especially on the pieces that I had that were combined, I did those to the first set that had the combination, I did it to 1,000 degrees Celsius. So 10 degrees less than what it was and obviously 40 degrees more than what it was for the Neptune. Now, in hindsight, after I did that, I realized that was far too hot for Neptune, but it was still okay for the crackle. The crackle, you got a lot of leeway with the crackles. I'll give you that. That was one thing I learned throughout all these pieces, that the crackle gives you a lot of leeway with the temperature. I have found. Maybe you haven't if you've used it, but I found that there was a lot of a temperature range that I could go through to still achieve all of the crackles that I got. And when I show you all the crackles I got, you're gonna be like, wow. Anyway, so when I did the combinations, let's start with those first. So this was the first combo that I did. Now, look at all the crackles. Now, of course, I did put India ink on all of the white crackle pieces because I could tell there was more crackles inside, but you just couldn't see them. So I did put India ink on every single piece that I have here. So that's why you can see all the crackles so well. But every single piece got it. Anyway, this temperature here, I did to 1,000 degrees Celsius. I did no hold, it just got to 1,000 and I took it out. And it still worked great, but the top looks a little overfired compared to everything else that was at just a touch lower temperature. So I took that, and then this was the second one I did. And again, look at all those crackles, but look at the colors. Now, again, it's so hard to tell in here. The light just doesn't quite do it justice, but like, look at that. So beautiful. Now, this one I did to 990. So I went a little less than 1,000. I should have left it in there for like half a minute more because I did get a little bit of blistering, but I'm not mad about it. It looks like it's legit. It looks like it should be there, so I'm not mad about it. But I did get so much more coloring when doing it at that temp, that if I would have done this one at that temp, I would have probably gotten the same results. Like, they're still so beautiful, but this one definitely looks overfired and this one looks darn near perfect. So I'm going to give it that. I also learned that with the Neptune specifically, and I should try it with other pieces. Now, see all the colors that are in here? Great, perfect, exactly what you want. This jack-o'-lantern, it was done at 1,000 degrees Celsius because I had the crackle, so I don't really know what I was thinking when I should have done it at a lower temperature, but this is the worst piece out of all of them. This one came out the worst, but it doesn't look terrible, but it's not my favorite. But you can see all the different colors are in there. It's very muted, very dull. This one I took out of the flames, and I mentioned at the beginning that I've been using a lot more flames. I used tons more flames. I let the pieces burn. I really let the fire go before I snuffed it out, which I think 1000% is what needs to happen. You need to let that fire burn because that's what's giving you all your color. So anyway, I did that with this, but I took it out of the flames, and instead of just letting it sit for a minute, like on my driveway where I do this, or on the cement pad that's right beside it, I think I would have gotten the colors, because that's what I did with this one. I took it out and I had to set it down for a second. And that's when I noticed, I'm like, wow, these colors are changing. They're doing something again. And I didn't do that with this one. This one went straight from the flames to the water. And in my mind, I was thinking that's what you need to do. But you do need to let that stuff do its thing after it's done too. So in hindsight, I should have taken this out, put it on the ground, and it probably would have given me some of these really vivid colors that I'm getting on these other pieces, but I didn't. So this one didn't work out. This is part of the 15% that I don't like, but that's okay. It's no big deal. I still have more clay, so I can still make more. The crackle stem worked. I don't know if you can see it. I did put India ink on all of these. There isn't probably as many crackles in here because it was at a lower temperature, but it still worked okay. That takes me into my next thing, which will be this. This one was just plain Neptune. It was only Neptune. And it turned out gorgeous. Like, look at all those colors. This one, again, I took out and I had to sit down for a second and I watched the colors change and I was like, yeah, that's it. That's totally it. Like, look at, I don't know if you can see that right in there, but look at that. It's so hard to see in here, but I'm so impressed. Neptune is beautiful, but it is temperamental, which they all are, but especially it's a little temperamental. I will do my ghosts. I'm like, look at the difference. These were fired in the exact same kiln. They went to, I think I did it to 965 instead of 960, but look at them. This one is the test tile through and through. It is blue, pinks, coppers. There's greens in there. It's wonderful. This little guy is wonderful. This guy is more copper. He's got some blue over on this side. But yeah, the flames definitely did their jobs with these little guys. So cute. And like, cutest thing you've ever seen, right? So these vases were just in white crackle. These ones I did do to 110. I did do these ones to 110. I just looked at my notes. They did like the least amount of crackle. I don't know why. The lower temperatures seem to give me more crackle. I don't know why, but they did. But yeah, still so beautiful. Totally the vibe that I was going for, which was, I don't know if anybody remembers like their old like Crocs and things like that, where you saw these little pits and they were dark and you had all the cracks on the enamel and stuff like that. That's the vibe I was going for with these, and yep, that's exactly what I got. I think they're beautiful. They turned out just the way I wanted. Again, I did put India ink on them. Now let's do the other little ghosts because they're my fave. These are my absolute favorite. Look at these little guys. Let me put one of these down. The white crackle ghosts. Oh, it's not gonna let me. Hold on here. Look how cute they are. With all their crackles. Oh, I'm so happy. These guys, I just think they're so cute. They are the cutest desk accessory or to stick in your plants. Like, oh, they're just so cute. Again, I did put India ink on them, which totally brought out all their crackles. They looked fine before. You could see some of the crackles, but they look, yeah, no, made such a huge difference. The mushrooms are some of my favorite mushrooms I think I've ever made. I don't know if you're going to be able to see all this, but look at underneath this mushroom. Look at all those colors. I don't think I can get in there to show. Like, look at in here. Can you see all of those colors? Oh, I love it. The tops are super cute. They didn't crackle a whole bunch. Oops, they didn't crackle a whole bunch. But what they did do, this one crackled a whole bunch. It gave me lots of crack. Again, I put India ink. I don't know if you can see. This one had really good underneath as well. Tons of different colors. Yeah, I love it. These ones are some of my favorites. The bigger mushrooms got a little bit overfired, but I mean, they're still really pretty. Like, yeah, these mushrooms, I think these mushrooms, I can confidently say these mushrooms are my favorite that I've made out of all of the Raku mushrooms. They're my favorite. This whole batch is, it's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite. It totally gave me exactly what I wanted, except like I said, the 15%, which we're going to get into right now. The last remaining of these 15%, and then I'll show you my few favorite pieces. So this piece was all Neptune. It's not my fave. And again, before I figured out that when I take it out of the flames, I should just let it sit for a second before I stick it in the water to give it that final, like, you know, stop cooking. That's what I did. It's not terrible. The stem looks really pretty. But the bottom just doesn't, which is fine. I'm not mad at it. Like, I don't think it's terrible. It's hard to see, like, the light's making it look really muted and weird, but it does have a few colors like in the stem, but it definitely is a lot more muted than the stem. If the whole piece looked like the stem, it would be unreal, but it doesn't. So anyway, and then the next piece that I kind of was disappointed at, mostly because I made a mistake more so than temperature wise. I dropped this one, but this one looks really cool. This one has tons of different colors in it, but I dropped it and it ended up, when I pulled it out of the kiln, it ended up falling on its side and it gave it all this texture, which isn't terrible, but this side looks much nicer without the texture of where it fell down. And I don't particularly care for the white stem. I think it just makes it look kind of weird. Again, not the worst thing in the world, but it's not my favorite. The colors and the textures in the glaze look really cool. Let me see. Maybe you can see it's got lots of like little like scaly looking things. So like that part is really pretty, like kind of galaxy looking, but it's just, yeah, it's just not my favorite. These last 3 pieces, they are my fave. They are my absolute fave, other than the ghosts. The ghosts are totally my number 1, but these are next. So first is the little white crackle pumpkin that's all white crackle. It came out perfect. Like, look at all those little crackles, even the little smoke stain. I'm okay with it. But you can use a blowtorch and you can just heat that up and that little smoke stain will just go right away. It's really easy. It's super simple. But yeah, it'll totally go away. But yeah, is that not the cutest? I think it's so cute. Again, I used India ink to accentuate the cracks. Next is my jack-o'-lantern. I think he's so cute. He turned out so well. At first when I took him out, I was like, oh, I don't really like him. But I put India ink on all the cracks. I was like, oh, he's just too white. But I put India ink on all the cracks. I think I'm probably gonna go back in here and really clean out his eyes so that they look a little bit more even. But I just think he's super cute. And even the stem turned out okay. This one I did do to 1,000 degrees. So you can tell that on this stem right here, it did get a little overfired, but it doesn't look bad. This is also one that had, after the bisque, it did get a crack in the stem, but you can't even tell. It totally fused itself together. But look at, I don't know if you can see all his cracks. But all of his little cracks totally came out when I put on the India ink. And he just looks so good. So, so good. I'm so happy with this little guy. Yeah, I'm so happy with that guy. And then this is my last piece, and if you can't tell, it's a pumpkin. If you didn't keep track, which, why would you? But it's a pumpkin, and it is my absolute favorite. I think it is gorgeous. The white crackle, the stem. Oh, you can see all of the crackles. The glaze is flawless. The top is beautiful. Even this, like, look at this right in here. Can you see these colors in the stem? Unreal. I think they're beautiful. I think, yeah, this is by far my absolute favorite piece of the whole entire day, other than the ghosts. Those are still my fave, but perfect. So all in all, I definitely learned a few things. The temperature makes a huge difference, but certain things, like I said, the white crackle, it's on the bottle, it says go to 110 with a 5-minute hold. Did not do that. I didn't do any of the holds. I did do the temps for the 2 singular vases. I did do the temp up to 110, but I really didn't hold it. And it gave me the least amount of crackles. The 1,000 degrees gave me the most crackles out of everything. When I did it at 1,000 degrees and I did maybe 2-minute hold, maybe. If I did that, I'd be surprised. I don't even know that I did, but it gave me the most crackles. And then for the combination, this one was at 1,000, this one was at 990, and the 990 just made the Neptune a lot prettier. The second thing that I learned is the fire. The fire is the second most important thing. You have to let the fire flame. You got to let it flame, and then you got to snuff it out, and it will give you beautiful results. The third thing that I learned is that you shouldn't just instantly put them into water, because this one is proof of that, as well as this one. They're the most beautiful combinations. Yeah, the ghosts, they also didn't go into water instantly, but they dried, like they came, they were a lot cooler when I took them out of the burn pot. So yeah, you got to let them cool for a while before you put them in water, which was my mistake, because when I was learning, I kind of saw people doing that instantly you take them out, you throw them in the water. So that's my bad. So I think if I do something else again, I will definitely, with the colored glazes for sure. The crackle glazes, it may have made a big difference on why I got so many crackles as to why I put them in the water so quick. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, anyway. All in all, my absolute favorite glaze, white crackle. It's gorge. Neptune is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful, but the white crackle for me, totally 150,000 million percent stole the show. It totally made these pieces. It gave me the exact aesthetic that I was going for, and it pretty much worked on every single piece. It made everything beautiful, and I am so happy for that. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I think that this was a really successful firing. I learned so much, and I give credit to all of you who commented on the last video of Raku. I took all of those tips, and they definitely were what helped me today or throughout the last few days. Those tips made this Raku firing 100% better. So I appreciate every single one of you who gave me the tips and tricks that you did, because yeah, they helped me immensely. If you guys have any questions about the glazes, if you have any questions about what I did or how I did, if I didn't explain it good enough, again, drop them in the comments below. I'll answer them best I can. And otherwise, yeah, go and check out the Vevor mini kiln, because that's what I've been using. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I probably did. That's what I've been using. And I think that it works great for these little Raku projects. Go and check out that link in the description below. There's also a discount code. So go and check it out. And if you want to get your hands on a mini kiln, go and check it out and use my code. I just hope that you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, because I loved this Raku video. I think it was great. I think it was a huge success, and I cannot wait to try more Raku before it gets a little bit too cold for me to do it outside. Please consider liking and subscribing to my channel, because it really does help me continue to make content for you guys. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you're having a good one, and we will see you guys the next time.